Hi, it's Tom from Green Shorts, and today it's time to unbox the dirty rocket stove, made out of mud. Stay tuned.
Welcome back, subscribers. If you haven't joined us yet, you can do so by clicking on the Green Shorts icon that's going to appear in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen throughout the video.
So it's been about 2 weeks since I originally cast the mud or cob rocket stove here in the bucket. About a week ago, I removed the firebox and took out the chimney pipe. And I did a little patching to the chimney for a few cavities that were there from the forming process.
Thankfully, my spare cob is still moist. I'm going to use this to patch it up. I also used this opportunity to round over the connection between the firebox and the chimney. That will make it less prone to breaking. After all the repairs were made, I turned the rocket stove to face south. I recovered and let it dry another week.
So now, a week later, let's get this out of the bucket.
First, I'm going to prep my area by raking away the leaves and dry grass and leveling it with a flat shovel. This step's important since we're in a drought and it hasn't rained in a month or so. Next, I'm going to put down 2 bricks to keep the mud rocket stove off the ground. And a brick for the back. Now we'll unform the rocket stove. We'll carefully remove the last layer of paper, revealing the cob. I'm finding a few more cavities than I thought I would, but those will easily be patched. This last layer of paper is going to peel off on its own as this dries out, but I do need to remove it in the areas where I'm going to be patching. And it's pretty easy to find the gaps just by pressing against the paper. If you've got a detail-oriented kid like I do, you can put them to work. I think once you get it that thin, you should be able to see all the holes. So in fact, let's stop there and add the pot standoffs and fix the holes.
Is stuff still wet?
Yeah, I think it stayed nice and moist, even for the...
Holy cow, this is actually really wet.
So it's solidified a little bit since I made it, but it's still nice and moist. So we're going to grab a couple handfuls of this and go pack the holes. But we want to make sure we don't cover up any paper. Alright, so we need to be kind of detailed with that, because we want the paper to eventually peel off, which it'll do as it dries. So where we got a bigger hole like this that's obviously got a gap in behind it as well, let's go ahead and push that gap in from the outside. Kind of fill it in, and then come back in with your cob. Put pressure on it to push it down in there. That's good. Now fill that in. Let's get that paper off there. Kind of smooth it with your thumb so that it blends with the other. Try not to pull it so much, just there you go.
not get it. Holy cow.
My goodness, you're definitely a chip off the old block.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow. Before I add the pot standoffs, which I'm going to use 6-inch bolts that I'm just going to push down into the cob, I'm going to round off the top corner here a little bit of the chimney. It's these sharp edges that are going to be more prone to breaking off and cracking. So I'm just going to round that over and form it. Once that's formed, I'm going to push the bolts down. I'm using 3, so I want them spaced at thirds. I'm being careful here to avoid the armature. And I'm pushing the cob in around the bolt to lock it in place. This last one's a little bit longer, so I gotta make sure it's even. Hit the armature there. I'm going to build a small fire in here and let it burn out fairly quickly, just so we get a nice bed of coals. Then I'm going to block the front and let it bake. I am happy with this stove. Now that we got a nice bed of coals in there, I'm going to cover the opening of the firebox . I did my firing in 2 stages, starting with a small fire to warm the stove, and then closing off the front and adding longer sticks to the inside, creating a hotter fire, but one that burns more slowly. Here you can see the pace of the drying, with only about a ½ inch of dry clay around the edge of the chimney. Notice the drying is extended to almost a full inch. You'll likely see some small surface cracks that form during the drying process. While the clay is still soft, you can close them up by pressing on them. Once the clay is dry, they won't close up any further. They would need to be patched.
Alright, there you have it, folks. Drying the dirty rocket stove. I'll do a fire in it about twice a week to continue with the drying process. Once this fire is cooled down, I'm going to use this trash can lid as a sort of hat to protect this rocket stove on an ongoing basis whenever I'm not using it. Because it's raw earth, even if it is baked, we're not truly firing it like you would fire ceramics, so this would absorb water and break down over time. So to make it last as long as possible, I got to protect it with this hat. Let me know in the comments below if you've made this dirty rocket stove, and if you have any questions. As always, our mission here at Green Shorts is to help you see green so you can be green, and save a little green. Thanks for watching. Please like and share, and subscribe for new DIY videos every Friday.